Dear Daniel by Ruby Throat, let's get into it. I am drop D tuning. Definitely a lot of instruments going on here in that slide guitar. Obviously, I'm not playing with the slide guitar, so I think it's best fit with that drop D tuning. Probably something going on with open D tuning. I tried it, but I wanted to think the way I think because these chords you can strum all the way down with that D, that open D as your 6th string now. Then we have an A. We're going to have a G, but you have to edit it a little bit here because of that 6th string. Do recommend doing that instead of doing this. It's just going to sound better for the song. So we're going to have a mix of those chords and also some tab lead stuff. In my description below, you'll see some notes. Hopefully they start to make sense as you play it and as you watch this video. But a recurring theme is going to be this 3 on the 6th string kind of bending. And you can do open, because that's going to be a D, or I kind of like it better if you do this and then hit this open, the real D string, the 4th string. I like that better when they start getting into it. I have a little tab here that really isn't the greatest, but it should kind of get you started with the intro and kind of some hot spots here. So it's going to be right from the beginning. You should definitely hear this, a 1-to-1 match. It should be something like that. But I'm kind of like waiting, and you can kind of see in my tab as well. I'm just kind of waiting for these hot spots, these notes that come up more predominantly than others. So kind of like sit on that, and then I have like 9 back to 7. Then I have up on the 4th string here 7 to 11. But you can hear them kind of go down to this 2 because that's going to be your E. And you can definitely hear that again, or even that again, and then you'll hear that slide again, 9 to 11 on that 3rd string, back to 9, and then like I said, you kind of just gotta wait for it, but you can definitely hear this slide on the 4th string, 11 to 14, and then again kind of ending on this 3 bend open, whichever which way you want to grab that. But I think for the intro it sounds cool doing that way. But anyways, the chords, it's going to be just like a D, A, back to D. But then you hear that, like I said, I kind of like it better that way. You might have to think a little bit twice about it because it's like definitely easier just to do that with your middle finger grabbing that 6th string. But nonetheless, I will have that. It's going to be like 3-0 is what I have it in my description. It's going to be that again for the 2nd line there. Won't play it for the sake of video timing. But then the color of you is for angels. You hear that faintly. The color of you. So you're going to have that G. Color. They hang on this A. You just gotta time it right, but now the text is gonna say 3-5-0, so what that means is 3rd fret, 5th fret, open. You can definitely hear that climbing. And that's gonna come a little bit later as well. The interludes, I apologize, and at the end I'll apologize in advance. I don't have anything really good for it. At least for the interludes, you can kind of go back to the tab here and kind of find some spots, but there's just so much going on. It's just like, what do you want to play? What do you want to match with? But it goes into verse 2, which should be the same thing as we just played. Although for the color of you is angels, that part there's just going to be a little bit different. You can hear it faintly if you want to kind of match them. After this G, going back to this D, I hear 3rd fret, 5th string, and then that A, and then again that D. I hear that, and then the 2nd time after that G is this D, but then I hear 2nd fret, 5th string. That, and you always want to have that bend there because it sounds cool as hell. And then that A again, you just sit on it. Color of you. This part's a little wacky. It comes twice in the song. I'm just gonna make like a D chord shape, and then hit this 3rd fret over the top of it, because you definitely can hear this note. really strumming too much because it's predominantly you just hear this note, which should be an F, and then it's going to go to this G again, and then the D, and again I have some stuff in the parentheses a lot in this tab, 2nd fret, 5th string, you hear that again, and it's going to just tag that same thing again with that F over the top, and then this G, and then D. Goes back into an interlude, which is kind of just like the intro walk up here a little bit. I really like this 11th fret of the 3rd string kind of bending up, so when in doubt, just kind of go there. You can just kind of walk down to your hot spot of this D right here on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Anyways, it's going to go into another verse. There's going to be some differences again for after coming on the lyric after that G, the color of you. Now when they go to this D, it's 2nd fret 4th string before going to that A. But you'll have the notes in the description. And then again, it's going to go with that F over the top for that little change up there. And then it's going to go in the high singing. And I did a little bit of stuff here. Could do a few different things. I think the best thing to, like, if you just want to continue kind of playing and strumming, is to introduce this mini F chord. It's going to be shaped like that, because then you can just climb up to this G. And then all the way back down to your D. And I believe you hear this 2nd fret 5th string bend again. Although, if you want to like match the highness of the singing, you can probably hit the 10th fret of the 3rd string, 12th fret of the 3rd string, and then ending on the 12th fret of the 4th string, because it's F, G, D. You're going to do that twice, whichever which way you want to do it. And then this part, I don't know, I tried my best with it, and this is where it gets funky, and I'm like, sorry, I can't help further, but I believe I hear like a D, slide to a C chord, and then a G, which could be over here, then F, and then finally it should end on a full D. But it's very quick, so after you play this, the high singing twice, you're going to hear some sliding. It's very quick. I have it shaped like this, because then you can just slide down to this C that I think I'm hearing. That's going to be quick, and then your G, I'm following the root notes that's on the 2nd string here, so. And then you want to land on this F, and then all the way through down to your D. And then something like that. And like I said, after that, unfortunately, it just kind of gets wacky, and I really can't hear things too well. I believe you can hear this 3-5 open a lot throughout the ending there. I don't know, you can kind of just mess around and just play like a D chord or something like that, but make sure you get that F over the top of it for the ending part, because I do hear that a lot. So hopefully that helped out. It's a long video, so please revert back, and yeah, I tried my best, so hopefully you guys won't make fun of me too much in the comments, but hopefully that helped out.